Hi there. Since I've been so rudely ejected from this tournament in the previous round, I thought I'd make a few recordings here and there of other matches of interest that are being played. So this match here is from the round of 32 between DG and Heron. Both players who have been around for a long time, actually, on FDS for years and years. So should get a good match. Pretty much all the matches that are left are going to be between people who are both strong. So shouldn't be too many duds. He can't see me when I'm typing that, but you know, I'll send it out into the void. And I guess we'll wait a couple minutes to get going. We may be in for a long haul. I don't know Heron's typical play speed, but DG is somewhat on the slower side. But, you know, who can blame someone for taking their time to think in these types of tournaments? Certainly not me. Most exciting thing about this match is I'm currently second in the table joining order, so if Heron gets booted, I'll have control. Can force them to do whatever I want. Alright, so here we have the first board. There's certainly draw in the form of city quarter and some additional gains between remodel and trove, I guess. At the same time, that isn't the easiest deck to build, city quarter trove. But there are other spammable actions that you can toss into the deck between native village and vassal and cargo ship. So, and Haggler of course is extra gains too, so that's probably enough to feed the remodel stuff. I mean, I would certainly try to build here, I think. You have time because of fairgrounds. Someone who didn't want to build would have to use remodel to rush down provinces, essentially. So that person would probably do something like trove with maybe a couple more remodels and just try and be aggressive on the provinces, but I think that's not going to be quick enough to beat something that's built up a little bit more. You have some control of your native village set-asides using vassal, and I guess Duchess if you had a Duchess, which isn't that likely. I guess that's not true what I said about vassal. Never mind. The Duchess part is true, but the vassal thing is nonsense. Yeah, I would build here, but mainly because I really hate losing these games by not building. That's always really depressing. Yeah, and they're buying silvers, which sort of indicates they're likely to not build. Because I think you would probably go ahead and open remodel or another action with your cargo ship if you were going to pass on or if you're going to try and build. I don't think Swamp Hag really kills, you know, your efforts to build here. That if they're not building, they don't play it that often, and you can always pass or just, you know, I mean, it just doesn't hit you that much if they're not building. Heron already has 2 Swamp Hags. DG may be adding his second one here, so he's going to head and adding the trove. I mean, at this point, the likelihood of building is pretty small, just in terms of the buys they've gotten so far. So we're not going to see that. We're going to see something a little more money focused. Which will certainly lead to a quicker game in terms of time. To answer the question from chat, from crude, I would just take a remodel, eventually a second remodel, and I would be buying the actions instead of the treasures. And take city quarters fairly soon-ish. But I think remodel would be the key there. So you would want to add a second one fairly soon. And then you're just setting stuff aside aggressively for a long time with the native villages and then seeing what you can put together. Heron bought a city quarter, so that would indicate he's going to go back and build a little bit. It's not really the greatest thing for his deck composition right now. We'll see if he might grab a haggler here. Okay, gets another swamp hag, takes a curse. The city quarter will be lucky if it's even a village for Heron at this point. Oh, he got tripped up by the cargo ship prompt, though I guess it didn't end up burning him because he has a swamp hag anyway, so it didn't affect him that time, but so they're going quite heavy on the swamp hags. Yeah, like this is going to happen a lot with the city quarters. Unless you've pretty much done all your buys actions and done some remodeling, the city quarters are just going to be so sad. Just indefinitely. It's really hard to recover the deck composition if you don't do it with the opening buys, because you need a native village to have set aside some non-action cards too and stuff. It's just not gonna pan out unless DG just completely fails to work towards some sort of game-ending condition, which seems unlikely. Definitely, I agree with his Heron's moves on turn 11 there, but I think it may be just too late. To recover the deck, but we'll see. DG can pretty easily pass here. I don't think there's a 3 that's worth a curse. Yeah. I definitely believe in building here. I just don't believe in the order that it's been done in. We'll see. We'll see if Heron still has time to do it. I don't really like DG splitting his green buys across Fairgrounds and Province. That makes the game longer rather than shorter. I wouldn't have bought the Fairgrounds that he bought. He pretty much needs to just be on Provinces. Like the Fairgrounds are just, there's not a third pile. If there were a third pile in addition to Fairgrounds Curse, he could do this. But if DG just keeps buying Fairgrounds, then Heron will have, I think, time. He's starting to churn through. He's starting to put some turns together. So he's a second cargo ship would be nice for him as well. He's definitely showing. His deck is looking really nice these turns. This turn in particular. So it still takes some luck to fire off, but if he has a couple more like this, then he'll just be totally won. So I'm going to have to say I was wrong about his ability to pivot, or at least it looks like I'm going to be wrong about his ability to pivot into building at that stage. Looks like we'll pan out for him. I really wish DG did not have 2 fairgrounds right now, but I think he would have had more threat just buying golds. So we'll see. I mean, Heron is still going to have more turns that look like this than that look like his turn, whatever that was, 13, 14. But as long as he can keep adding in some city quarters and converting the zeros into, yeah, another cargo ship would be great, just to set aside a city quarter each turn. But yeah, it looks completely won for him, I would say. Yeah, Steph says 3 more cargoes. Yeah, you're gaining a lot of cards on your turn with remodels, so it's you can set aside a couple actions per turn for sure, which really helps if one of them is a city quarter. I haven't tracked the curse split all that well. I mean, just as in terms of the numbers taken, obviously Heron's going to end up with, like, Duchy does nothing for DG. It's just never going to, yeah, it doesn't do anything at all. I wouldn't say that crude. He has enough goals that he could just draw into a shuffle that does it pretty easily, actually, but I might have preferred the remodel into remodel play over swamp hag play myself. I think you get a little more out of a remodel play. So he sets a 9. I mean, anytime you have enough time to buy 7 city quarters and your opponent only has 21 points, that's not going to bode well for them. He can do really big here. We'll see how aggressive he goes with the gain and play, but he could potentially I mean, there are a lot of different things you could do here. You could consider additional hagglers. I mean, you're probably buying a city quarter, so more hagglers don't really do anything. Right, Heron does not have to green in the traditional sense. He can just wait until he has a turn where he can remodel for enough things and end it. Most likely, he can store up that amount of stuff. So we'll see what he buys here. He does get the second haggler, so that would sort of indicate he's likely to buy province here, actually, which is fine. I don't know that it's necessary, but it's fine. Because the city quarter buy is pretty bad, with the hagglers at least. You would want to just not play the hagglers if you're going to gain another city quarter this turn. This style of game is at least fairly easy to track what's going on because there's only something going on one side of the page. I don't think there's a chance of not building here. I don't agree with Crude at all, but especially having seen it played out. Yeah, I agree with Steph that he should mill, or it's sort of a mill. Remodeling fairgrounds to province for DG. I don't know what his fairgrounds are now, probably 4. I mean, they've got to be 4, right? He's got enough random things that he's up to 10 for sure. Yeah, I don't like DG's fairgrounds, but at the same time, it totally looks like Heron. Like, DG might have, like, 1 or 2 more provinces. It still looks like time for Heron to catch up on fairgrounds. But it definitely would be scarier if your opponent is working down the provinces than what DG has done here. Heron should be... He should be a little careful about trying to take provinces. He should probably get... If he wants to green, he should buy a fairgrounds. But he certainly doesn't have to green. He can go like remodel native village or remodel vassal or something. Remodel cargo ship. I don't like that at all. I think the treasure trove is kind of cute, but not really worth it for him. And the province buy is just super bad. In my opinion. I don't know what he has set aside. Is that true, Steph? Heron wins this turn. Well, he didn't do it, so... I don't know how much he had on the native villages. It was just 1 city quarter, so it wasn't like guaranteed he draws at all. I mean, if he finds a native village, he'll draw here, but he has to have one in the top 3 or 4 cards. He still looks fine, but yeah, he picked up a couple turns ago, a big one. I don't think the pickup was good when he did it, to be honest, but because he had several city quarters on there. I think he picked them up because he was thinking he wanted city quarters in deck, but he could have just waited to... He can't really triple... Oh, yeah, he can. He can triple now. It would be nicer if he had... Well, he just doesn't have to score that much because of... I don't know his fairgrounds are worth. If they're not 6 already, then I guess he can always... Does he have another remodel? He has more remodels, right? If he has another remodel, he can just get an estate, and then that's enough points. But I don't know if he has another. I mean, I thought he had 3 remodels, right? One's in the trash. Did he trash a remodel? That's kind of... Okay, so his fairgrounds were only 4, so that was the 2 points. This is the point where you definitely resign early on this plane. This is one where you definitely book it out of there. You don't sit through that. No way. Alright, so good game to Heron. Definitely prefer his approach to DG's. Alright, so Heron was first player there, so not the worst thing for DG in that situation. DG, I'm sure, understands that city quarter is very good. He just maybe didn't quite believe in the trashing power or whatever. But I think native village there is going to always be enough to get you a high enough action density. And of course there are several other nice little interactions for it. We're going to have that already starting bug probably 4 or 5 times this match. I can sense it already. Alright. Game 2. Ooh, look at that. With Sir Michael on top. With the governor. Of course, I mean, Sir Michael will likely not survive, but, you know, still. If you get to do it a turn or two, it's still pretty nice. We got Villa as well in King's Court and all this stuff, so I guess I'll just say ahead of time that I'm certainly not going to pick out every possible play you could do here, because there's going to be a lot at any given point. There's going to be lots of ways to underplay your turns. Quite a bit of counting and thinking that'll be required to play them correctly. I think you can. I think you do scavenger for sure, and I'm fine with silver or vassal. I don't feel super strong. I don't know. I don't super love vassal, to be honest, but I just don't like vassal that much in general. That's just a personal bias of mine. DG will. I mean, it's very unlikely they won't get the scavenger opening. I don't think someone's gonna go silver, silver, silver vassal. I think fool's gold is not gonna pan out. DG hits the 5 scavenger draw. Super nice. Heron hits it 2. Turn 3, good times. Heron's is technically a little better because he gets to top deck silver. Not technically, Heron's is just a little better because he gets to top deck silver. DG goes with governor, which I think is fine. You can try to. I mean, there are lots of knights you'd be sadder about getting than Sir Michael for sure. So I would not hate anyone taking Sir Michael whenever they felt like it. There's just Anna, I think, is a little bit better, but they're kind of close here. You're not gonna get to. I mean, if you get to keep him, I don't know. Still, Anna's real nice. But anyway, if they go through the knights, then of course they won't all stick around. So like Michael right now does not do a ton, but of course once you buy the governors, then he does quite a bit. I mean, if your opponent has built up enough fast enough that they have king's courts and governors really fast, then they can shrug off Michael to some degree. If they get to start with, you know, king draw. But Yeah, lab is fine too here. I mean, lab's likely to get you to the price points you want. I mean, the only upside of governor, of course, is makes your king's court buy a little more likely, just off a straight draw paired with scavenger or silver. Lab's not terribly likely to do that. Or lab's not as likely to do that. Like a king's court buy is just, you know, it's a king's court. You don't really have the action density yet, but trash is state for markets. I don't quite see how you... Oh, if someone who's gonna... I'm not sure who he's suggesting would do that. I mean, if your opponent trashes, but... I would probably buy King's Court. I mean, you're not likely to pair it, but I would still have done it. I'm fine with not doing it, but I would have done it. And now I would buy one if I hit 7 again as a DG for sure. Like 3 actions is enough. So heron dips for the Michael. We'll see if DG just keeps hitting the governors or takes Vander. I could totally see someone win with while ignoring the knights for a little bit and going back a little later. I'm probably discounting the knight attack a little bit, not the discard, but just the knight attack, which could be pretty brutal here. So it does make it a little scary. Of course, King's Court can lead to, even if there's a buy split that's even, can lead to unbalanced ends to the deck. So like right now, Heron could, even if Vander's revealed, could still pop a couple other things. I mean, there aren't additional knights, so that's not going to happen, but see if DG draws through. He just gains a gold. It's not terrible to have. It's not terrible. The sad thing, giving them a silver isn't like super great. I think governor's great here. I would be all over them. So Michael did not have great luck there. And by that I mean Michael had terrible luck. Like the gold trash is, you're almost, it's not even clear that it hurts you at all. That cycling, it was all good. This hand draw for Heron is really terrible. I mean, I would be totally amenable to the argument that was friendly. Overall, the knight play was certainly helpful to DG. The gold trash specifically, I could be convinced of that, or I wouldn't argue about it. But certainly the flippings of the coppers in the estates is real nice. I don't think you get a windfall here ever. It would just be so hard to use a buy on something that wasn't a King's Court. It would just be super hard to justify that. It's easy to get golds here when you're ready for them. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna pass on a King's Court buy. DG gains another gold. I would be, if I were DG, I might be working a little harder to get a King's Court than he's doing, but I'm not too shy in general about doing draw with governor. At least not on these kinds of boards. See if he top decks Michael, what he buys. Is the governor split is 4-1, I believe. So it's really hard for Heron to buy another King's Court. I would say he probably just needs to buy a lab or a governor. He takes a governor. I agree with that. If Vander does not hit Michael here, then Heron's going to have a nice turn. DG's deck, I would like DG's position better if there were like good fours to remodel to. Like Villa is a little underwhelming at this point until you're drawing deck and you can use gain and play tricks. I would okay, he gets the buy. We'll see what Heron does. Either just go. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so Vander just hits Scavenger. That could have worked out. This has got to be a King's Court. Yeah. Okay. So Heron's gonna get to draw through and then force a discard. And his governor play should certainly be a remodel at post Michael play. I guess you can do the counting and see if you want to maybe do a Villa, but that was an okay reveal. You don't really want to lose the King's Court from your shuffle, but you didn't lose anything you wanted in your deck. So DG can upgrade Scavenger to Governor or Lab. So he's still got a nice gain out of the... This will be a King's Court for Heron. DG will be in trouble if the Michael sticks around. I agree. I wouldn't take villas unless I had an express purpose for doing it. I wouldn't just take them because I had money for it. I mean, you don't need the buys really that much, and yeah, he has a market square already, and even if he didn't, you don't really need the buys that much. You can get it when you need it, you know. Yeah, you can get it during the turn you decide. The math really encourages it. Yeah, this is likely to roll Heron's way. Again, unless the Michael dies soon. If he gets... I mean, it's really, really lucky. I guess he probably top-decked one of them. No, he didn't play a Scavenger. It was really just quite a lucky draw to get King, Governor. I guess... And DG only drew him one card, so... I don't agree with that at all, Freaky. The two turns in this game is just way too much. In this game, it's just... But, yeah, I mean, he's ahead for sure. Yeah. It still would be a little close, but that would at least make it something, I guess. Yeah, like if Michael doesn't die like now, Heron is, and Heron's still probably okay. Yeah, so Michael didn't die, and he also smacked. No, it's totally fine to do it then. I wouldn't activate the market square. That, you know, I don't know. The gold is just super underwhelming in my opinion. I'm not quite sure what the sad about stuff is referring to, but I mean, I definitely agree it's fine to play Michael 3 times. Yeah, double King's Court definitely looks like the thing. Yeah, DG can't. Nothing DG can really do from this point unless unless Heron like leaves a weird 3 pile available to DG. Like if Heron doesn't win on his next turn, I can see a world where DG has a win on his following turn. But Heron didn't start King King yet, so that's something. I mean, DG doesn't ladder, so I mean, DG has been a strong player for years and years and years. You know, I mean, I don't know how often he plays. He plays in league, and he's played in league for every single season of it, and he, you know, spent the first several seasons of that, or early on he was in A for many, many seasons. I mean, so he's capable of beating whoever, basically. I haven't played against Heron or watched him play much that I remember, but Heron's been around for a while too. Those are super lucky. I guess it would have been a funny draw too, right? He would have just drawn into a... Yeah, except that given... I guess he's going to King Court the first governor, so... I think he'll still get around to them in time to play them on some payload, so... yeah. You can do whatever. I don't even know if you have to do that. You probably are going to be able to draw around to whatever, but maybe that's the quickest way. I don't know. The scavenger trick that Freaky's talking about. I guess you could king the scavenger and put like king king governor on top, and then draw 3 cards. I just don't think the gold gains are the path. I don't know. I understand it's like he doesn't want to draw more cards, but yeah, I mean you'd have to play a few games to see how long the Michael lives on average. This feels above average, but maybe it's not. Maybe this is typical. And in that case, yeah, you would definitely say you need to take him on your first 5. Yeah, so Heron should... Yeah, that's true. Josephine is making... to some degree, Vander and Josephine are making it hard to... You should be able to do it, though. You know, you can get the King's Courts and the Governors easy. I guess the question is, like, is it easier to do the provinces, or is it easier to do estates or just villas or whatever? This would be way more fun to figure out the win by just trying it a couple times than versus trying to sit and plot it out. Like, obviously, if you're going for a win, like, Michael's got to become a King's Court, and probably one of the governors needs to become a King's Court. And then one of the silvers into a governor. I don't know. That may leave you with too few king governor plays. You may not be able to afford to play to remodel a governor into King's Court. I don't know how close you get with estates. You probably do estates pretty easily, right? I don't actually think you can empty gold. You could get quite a few of them, but I mean, you got, well, yeah, I mean, there's so many different things you can do with Villa. Like, I wouldn't be surprised by whatever wild thing that someone said you could do. I don't know if it's that feasible, but he's getting the governor. This is super scary if Heron doesn't find the win because, well, I don't know if DG has enough King's Courts to threaten that much, but DG's gonna start King Governor. He has to draw so much. don't know where he's at on the province front. That would be also an interesting one. He still has 3 non-King's Court actions to play. Crude beat me slightly. If you were going to go for the win, you probably wanted to get your buy. I guess you can remodel an estate. Yeah. Into a villa. You'd probably want to get some buys so that you can buy some more things before getting villa and then drawing them up. Villa isn't the most friendly thing in the world to King's Court chains. Like, it's not, it interrupts that in some sense. So, not in some sense, it just interrupts it. But, so 2 more. I guess you can also take 6 provinces or something. I don't know if DG will outscore that. He doesn't have a great way of getting colonies. Like 6 provinces is actually a really hard points deficit to overcome. Maybe it's 7. I don't know exactly what the money would end at. Okay, so now he's gonna, I guess, finish doing the governor stuff. Michael dies. So DG is gonna get another turn. Heron's, oh, he can do it because scavenger. I guess he top decks 1 province if he gets a buy. I guess the nice thing about, or one nice thing is that you can also, like, you're pretty likely to be able to take the 7th province off a remodel, or a reasonable chance of taking a province off a remodel if they start going for that. DG's just gonna have a hard time scoring. Like he has to get like 3 colonies, not really, but something roughly like that. 2 at least, plus whatever other stuff. And that's getting all the provinces. Already Heron can do a King's Court province thing, which means DG has to either score completely without remodeling, or basically 1 remodel does nothing for him. I guess if DG gets 2 provinces and 3 colonies, that won't be enough. I mean, he can touch provinces. He's not going to get another turn after this one. I mean, he's going to for sure play that King's Court. I don't think it matters. I guess there's that. I don't know that I don't know that he has the resources to. Okay. I don't know that he has the resources that doing Villa stuff actually even helps him all that much. Like, I don't know if he has enough actions that he's. Yeah, he just doesn't have anything. Pardon me. So Heron's going to go up. Thank you, Truffles. Heron's going to go up 2-0 here. Going to set it up. We had a match earlier today where someone almost pulled off the reverse 4-0, but didn't quite get there. Sorry, Tracer. A lot of game 7s today. TG doesn't even. Well, he has his market squares, but two more king. He doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the money. He has to have like $50. He can't remodel anything. That just. I mean, he can. I mean, you can remodel for the last province, but it just doesn't do anything for you. He doesn't need 4 colonies, right? He just needs 3 and a couple duchies. He's not going to have the buys for it, but. He may have exactly the buys for it. He's not going to have the money. I don't believe. He's got to draw with this governor, and then he'll have 1 market square he can king court. That would be funny if he does. I'm not really counting his golds in discard very well to say if he has the money, but it's not looking like $30. Yeah, he's 2 MS, but he can king 1 of them. So he can get to 5 buys. I don't know if the silvers to duchy does anything for him. Yeah, still need $1 million. Yeah. Hey, it was valiant though. He did it. He did the stuff he'd kind of need to do to make it work, but it's really hard when they're going to be able to gain provinces off your remodel. Like, that's just rough. We're going to take a 4-minute break. What can we possibly do for 4 minutes? Well, people can try it if they're feeling like looking for a win. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bet my life on there not being a win. Pretty big board, though. In contrast, well, the first one ended up being pretty big. That's a good toothbrushing. It's a thorough scrubbing of the gums. If you're not bleeding, they're not clean. That's a fancy toothbrush. One end of the toothbrush dispenses lollipops. The other end, counteracts the effects. Did anyone start the clock to confirm whether the 4 minutes was accurate? Because that's important to hold our players accountable to the things they write in a chat box. Yeah, we'll have to go back. That's the only reason I make VODs at all, is so that we can make sure people's breaks are not longer than what they claim. Alright, everyone try and guess one card that's going to appear in the upcoming kingdom. And anybody who gets it right is the true winner of the, oh gosh. Alright, no loopholes, Truffles. Alright, you all know what I truly meant. Alright, we've got a donate and a shepherd, 2 black markets. I haven't looked. Do they even have any bans or likes? No, you rejoice in your shared victory. This is Dominion. Do they have bans or likes or dislikes? I didn't notice, so probably they didn't, but I'm also incredibly unobservant. So, I mean, come on, there's 19 people here. We only have like 3 guesses. Yeah. I was counting the captain. I wasn't counting well, but I was counting. This game was just proof that you should always keep your starting coppers, because ooh, classic village. Nice. As if we needed further confirmation, Davor, of his nefarious ways. Congrats, Shakalaki. All right, looks like they're default listers. That's the best club. Did anybody? Nope. That looks like a big goose egg. I mean, we had 20 people. Our odds, if everyone had guessed, we had great odds of hitting 1, but or reasonably good odds. Workers' Village is like the first good village, right? That was printed. All right. I know village is good. I know. Workers' Village, is Workers' Village the first great village printed? Some people might not even give Workers' Village the nod there. Anyway, they've got lots of villages here. You're going to get a ghost ship for sure. You're going to try and get the old stables. Man, Throne Room is a great card, but it's not that. Gonna get yourself some stables, ghost ship. There's you know, gonna be one of those people, probably one person. Yeah, same Throne Room as the village is like selling Throne Room short. Yeah, Festival was the first not great, pretty bad village. Yeah, but it's going to get renamed to Royal Good Village because the art comes in not old enough. With 6, you just do Border Village Ghost Ship. It's just what you do. At some point, I guess you stop playing the Lucky Coin, probably. Like, you know, it's not the best thing ever. It's okay to get another ghost ship, though. Like, if you're buying it with a Border Village, especially, it's totally fine to get a second ghost ship. You're not terminal limited. The actual terminals just suck. I mean, you can buy Lost Cities when the stables are gone. Or you know, if you get paranoid. You know, I don't actually have that much stables paranoia, despite the infamous case. I'm not that afraid of them. I know. Sorry I responded to your meme in a sincere fashion. I won't make the same mistake until the next time I make it. Thanks, Wen's gift. For nothing. Why did he discard? I'm super confused. Oh, okay. Yeah, because you get to pick the order of that stuff, and he just, and of course you don't have to discard that many. He just goofed it. He thought he had field. Heron, I mean, I would grant this undo, and Heron is granting it as well, so. DG needs his, alright, there he found his slash, or backslash, whatever they are. Did he just do the same thing again? Oh, so he didn't undo the Sun's gift. That's pretty good guy, DG, right? He didn't do the undo to not draw the ghost ship. He just did the undo to discard the ghost ship so he could buy a 5. Yeah, so that one was totally clean. No info. You're not wrong, Davor. You're not wrong. No, I agree, Steph. I would have granted it regardless, but that's just some people care about that. It's more work for me to figure out what they're asking for the undo for and why and what happened than just to click yes. I mean, you may take lost cities. At some point. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if someone bought a lost cities after they played a ghost ship. Yeah, the undo is granted. We just thought he might be doing a further undo haka, a further back undo. I haven't really been tracking the decks all that well. They're moving along, buying the cards you'd expect them to buy. I don't mind the ghost ships, to be honest. I mean, as long as you have the villages, it's okay. I probably wouldn't have this many. Some stables in there, but they're okay. As long as you have the villages to support them, they're okay. Like that here, that's pretty sad. Like you would much rather have had the stables. And the stables plays a little nicer with Ghost Town or with Shantytown as well. Heron got the Defiled Shrine. But I have not been watching the buys to know the splits on the other stuff. Yeah, like stables is definitely nicer here. Gives you much better odds of drawing with Shantytown or just continuing in general. But still a decent enough turn. He knew he was going to buy Lost City. He read his mind. Heron gets another ghost ship. Okay. I wouldn't get the border village here. I would have just bought the... Did he have to play it to get 5? Maybe I didn't count good. Oh, he discarded Lucky Coin. I see. And then he got, all right. Now I know what happened. Yeah, that is funny. Man, wouldn't these be cool if they were stables or lost cities? Yes, they would. If he gets the last one, that would be pretty funny. Maybe you stop with, you get 2 at some point early, and then maybe you stop at a 3rd one later on with the ghost ships. Sounds like a okay stopping point to me. This game is proof why Ghost Ship is maybe the actual card in Dominion that should be disbanded. Well, they draw. You don't need 5. You for sure don't need 5. Yeah, but you're the kind of person who sees turn 20 and gets giddy, Steph, so I want my games to be over by turn 12 at the latest. Getting that Baz. Getting that sweet Baz. Man, the Fool is really, really great with Shantytown, too. It's a real winner there. Thank goodness they emptied those ghost ships. He's going to draw a ghost ship with his ghost ship here, and the Shanty will have to be Necro. No, it draws. I was wrong. Is DG going to have enough to do 10 here? Is he going to get 2 5s? He is. Even 11. He can get Border Village and stables. I wonder if you had a third. I mean, it's not really that important to get a third buy. Nope, disagree. Before the shuffle, I for sure am getting 2 draws there. Two labs. Don't like. You had buy. You had the perfect amount of money to use the buy. Right before a shuffle, just everything looked like add 2 draw. To me, anyway. But how bad is this shuffle? Man, this shuffle might be a scary. 2 province stables. I guess he's okay. I don't know what these last 7 cards are. Probably just a million silvers. Oh, we got a wisp. Oh, 3 ghost ships in hand. Oh, right. Bath. I mean, you wouldn't take a bath with a will-o-wisp. You just wouldn't do it. Does not look clean. Well, this is looking very good for a heron. Yeah, I didn't know it was in the shuffle, so the shuffle looked fine in hindsight. I wonder if you trigger. I don't know how much was in there at the end there. Well, 1, 2, 3. I don't know when he triggered, but I don't know if he triggered before all the stables. So he could have. So he would have only left 1 copper. You might have thought about double province. Man, these shanty ghost ship pairs are just the most depressing thing. They're so bad. They're like so bad. Wait, couldn't the shanty have drawn there? Yeah, it could have. Oh no, is DG doing he's resigning. I wonder if DG is salty or not. Or if he just is going. I need to add. I always forget to update my scoreboard. Alright, so it's 3 for those potentially just joining us. The score is now 3-0 in favor of Heron. Alright, so yeah, DG for sure could have drawn further than that turn, and still probably would have lost, but I didn't see what... That's true, Haka. I didn't see what heron top deck, but I think it was more draw, so... Well, it just seems sort of pointless to resign at that point because, you know, it's going to... Yeah, you can just see if they're drawing $5 or not. It'll only take a couple more seconds. I think a second ghost ship is fine. And by fine, I mean good. I think you absolutely want two in there. And eventually a third, but like the fifth one, fourth and fifth seem not necessary at any point. I mean, if you're buying with a border village, it's not that much worse than a kind of a lab thing. Though it is kind of crappy with the shanty towns. Alright, let's see what they've got. Alright, already starting. Nope, I'm wrong. Man, now they're not even going to get one at all if this is the last game. I mean, 2 or 3, whatever. I'm not super concerned about the number as long as it's not all of them, I would say. Well, safe means like trying to play one every turn, I would think. It's how I would interpret it anyways. Alright, so people want mystic native village stuff. And or I mean you can control the native village set aside in a few different ways here. Oasis or Hamlet. Obviously Rabble is like the actual super nice thing here, just in general. Having a lot of those guys is gonna be pretty good. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, right. Like clearly, it's worse if there's a $4 because of armory, but yeah, here I definitely agree, Sam. But anyway, it's draw, so you're gonna have it. I don't know when you add the armory. You probably want one. There's enough 2s and 4s to gain, and the game should last long enough. Stuff doesn't want armory. If you had trashing, it would be better, but I still think you get one at some point. I wouldn't be concerned about like opening with it or anything, for sure. I guess I would probably open Cut Purse Silver, but maybe Cut Purse Oasis. Sounds pretty good. And then I wouldn't add more. I would try to limit the silvers for sure, so Well, if you draw with an estate in these kinds of games for early turns, it's pretty good. The Oasis. I guess someone can go for the guaranteed, the silver equivalent Night Watchman pair. It's not, depending on which player you are, it's not strictly guaranteed because your opponent can play cuppers. Unless you can be sure to top deck 6. I never really can think through all the Night Watchman stuff, but there's for player 1, there at least is definitely a way to get 5 on top for sure. And player 2, I guess, depending on their opening, if they have a cut purse, maybe they could counter it, but they'd still have to get lucky. Heron can just open with it, with the rabble. DG goes with Oasis cut purse. I would take rabble over Mystic. DG can get a rabble himself here. This is more money. This is more money than DG wants. Yeah, I don't know. Heron might have wanted a native village rather than a hamlet. That's the only... Yeah. That would be the thing you might change about his opening. I don't think Steph said that. I don't think anyone is looking at this board thinking it. I wish a beggar was a better card. Dominion has a long history of $2 reaction cards being kind of garbage. Yeah, but it's just really frequently the unplayable one. It's just, yeah, they're like combos, but. What set is beggar even in? Is that Dark Ages? I don't even know. I don't know the set symbols very well. Except for the one that's literally the name of the expansion. Who has... Okay, Heron has the mountain village. Another hamlet or another native village for DG. He goes with the hamlet. It would be nice for DG to get a mountain village. Yeah. The horse is Hinterlands. The mask, the eye mask thing is intrigue. Prosperity is like a chest, I think. Yeah, like a treasure chest. Seaside's the anchor. Cornucopia is a cornucopia. Night. Nocturne's a moon. You can tell I'm real focused on this game. Alright, they're buying the Rabbles, they're buying the mountain, they're buying the things. They have the cards. I don't know if the printed cards have symbols or not. The landscapes. They're just not online. I don't know. The yellow, yeah, but you can't put a dark thing on the background of this. The Nocturne one is the issue, I think. They wanted it to work well for the night cards as well as the non-night cards. Yeah, but now all the symbols are the same, right? I don't know. The action cards, it's yellow, right? Two Rabbles left. What does everybody... How many Rabbles does everybody have? What's the mat situation? DG's mat's looking pretty good. It's not got a lot on it, but hey. Found a mountain village. That's nice. Can't get enough Rablos, that's for sure. The E's not even anywhere near the O on a keyboard. It's just what Divor calls him. Steph has got a deck tracker extension install confirmed. Ban him from the tournament. DG too scared to even do it? You do it. Like, you do it. I mean, if you get the Rabble, then... No, I think one of them was a Rabble. He does not have 6, but he's gonna. He is sure going to. Man, this is not great for DG. Heron gets himself a native village. He can start cleaning up. Things are gonna look not great. DG should be able to get a set aside here. DG, you gotta get in action, dog. You gotta get in action, man. There's a number right there. You don't have to count them. Okay. He's gonna go back. They're gonna go back. He's down 0-3. I say let him. Need that action. All right. We're getting our actions. He wants the buy. I don't even know if he has enough money to like use the buy. Last card's cut purse, right? I can remember if it's a completely unique card. I guess he's okay, right? He'll set aside one of the estates and then draw through the other one. So it's like cool. It's all good. Steph wants to set aside copper. I don't know what he specifically has in mind for that preference. But it's a rabble interaction thing. I'm not sure if the since turn 5 or 6 thing fits, but I'm not going to test it out audibly. Yeah, it's not. Your 19 isn't going to fit in there, or the part that's 19 doesn't. Yeah, that works. Still not gonna confirm it audibly. No, too much pressure, Johns. I'll admit, I didn't listen to the entire thing, but I have had "You Are My Squire" stuck in my head for the past several days. Unfortunately, I only know the first 2 lines of it, and so it's just a loop of that. Just constantly for the past several days. Except I never remember to sing the 2+ buyer thing. I just sing the actual line. Like I can remember the first one, and then I know the second one, but I just never actually say it. I just switch back to the real lyrics. So Heron has not yet added native village, which I would have done. It's super good here. So that's DG's unique advantage, despite being down in the rabbles. But I don't know that it's going to be enough to rescue him here. But it is the PC. The thinning he can do that Heron is currently not doing any of. I'm not. I'm sorry. There's too many people listening. By like a factor of however many people are listening. DG has 8. Is he gonna go? Gets another gold. I guess I'm more inclined to try and add mystics as my money here, but yeah, Steph is right. This is not. He's not. Well, he got to play his native village, but adding the gold back in mitigates that as far as a cleanliness of deck aspect. I'm right there in the card. Just a picture of my skull. Heron had 14, right? So what is it? I guess. Oh yeah, we got to think about Mountain Pass now. That's a huge pain. Let's play number weighing with the Mountain Pass guess. My Mountain Pass theory is just try to be ahead when Mountain Pass occurs. That's the only Mountain Pass related theory I have. Just try to already have basically one. The Lord Raddington. What's Lord Raddington's cutoff? It's like 11 or something. It's like near there anyway. I should know I play Lord Raddington every day for hours because I'm just the worst. Well, it doesn't, yeah, 12, okay. So Raddington's is like, he won't go above 11. No, he does not. Yeah, I mean, you can figure out the bid. It's just going to be one lower than whatever. DG followed the advice from chat. Confirm chat reader. DG, set something aside. Like, what's in there? Like, why are you not setting something aside? Like, it's really bizarre. I'm actually surprised he's not doing it because it seems like free, like a super free decision. That is so weird. Well, weird is the euphemism for what it actually is. This is such a good board for Native Village, and only one has been bought, and it has rarely been played. The Mountain Village rabble thing's pretty cute here. That's pretty nice. DG, we're begging you. Yeah, Hamlet and Oasis. DG, we're begging you to play the Native Village this time. I'm begging you at least. Well, so DG had to bid first in Voltaire. So whatever he bid, we know Heron bid second, so we know whatever number he bid, unless he was doing something silly, was just going to be one higher than whatever DG bid. Because that's all he has to bid to win. And since Heron bid second, we know he did that. No, they're not simultaneous and they're not secret. Or yeah, they're ordered. Yeah. DG has been making a couple of little mistakes that have big consequences. I mean, the Native Village plays in particular have ramifications for future turns that can be pretty huge in terms of having a good or a bad turn. DG, and at least until Heron buys a Native Village, as much as he can, DG should angle for a longer game, I think. He's still got a much smaller deck than Heron. Like, at this point, the size difference, I mean, the Rabbles technically draw the extra cards, I think, the number, but consistency-wise, DG should be a little better. So, like, DG following on provinces is not super compelling. To me, well, here's a chance for DG. I guess I can't figure out quite how hard DG wants to go for provinces. But anyway, he's going to get very, very likely a dud for Heron here. DG just has to find one green card. Mega turn. What does that even mean? There's no mega turns. The DG still has not forced him to top deck a green card yet, but we'll see if he can get there. I feel like you play an Oasis before one of those guys. Man, it would be great if DG had another copper on the mat. Would be so useful. I'm not sure that you play the Mystic before. What is he gonna do? Wish for Hamlet? I was gonna say he's just gonna play the card. There's nothing else. This is kind of rough. He buried a rabble. Yeah, it's pretty. So he hasn't even guaranteed Heron draws dead. If Heron has a mountain village on top, I don't know. He probably didn't flip all the mountain villages, but I didn't look. I'm not gonna figure it out. He most likely didn't flip every single one of the mountain villages, so Heron can still get outs with Mountain Village or Hamlet. I would absolutely set aside the gold also. Yes. This is, oh no. He just isn't playing the card he bought. Yeah. I would probably buy a mountain village here. You know, you could buy a native village, but he won't play it, so. So let's see what Heron goes for, the Hamlet or the mountain village. Nope. Alright, there was an estate on top there. Alright, so here's DG's chance. If he can province here, it'll put Heron. No, Heron has 16 now, doesn't he? So I don't know. It's not actually clear if Heron can, or if DG can take the two. Though Heron has 17, I think, but it's maybe not totally guaranteed that he would draw it, even starting from something like this. But maybe it's really, really good odds. DG probably should have taken an action on the first Hamlet. I would just play the cut purse and try it. I would just buy the province, play the cut purse, buy the province, and just hope he didn't double. You already messed it up. You already messed it up. His sip is 6. Well, I mean, he's not. He'll get to play all his good cards, yeah, for sure. But he, well, one, he won't get to find every rabble, so, but he will have the actions. And what's it matter if heron doubles? If you take the duchy and heron doubles, yeah, it just gets the envies and a rabble. Like if heron doubles at all, how are you gonna come back on that score wise? Sure, Steph. If the situation was totally different, I agree. Yes, if you had the deck under control and you could keeping it under control, you can play the longer game and go for hopefully like double duchies and stuff. But DG can't do that. Not gonna work. The thing is, like, DG's next turn is probably garbage too. Nope. In fact, it's really great. So now we just get to see. Yeah, may we all be blessed by such garbage. So now it's just, does he find rabbles as he draws along? And like he probably does. Yeah. I think he can still potentially bottom deck. Nope, not now. Now it's just guaranteed. He's got to get a buy though. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, now it's over. He can discard a copper. He has 17, so he can discard one copper and for action and draw on or whatever. Or he doesn't have to even do that if he doesn't want to. He can just play the Mystic and play the Rabble. This should give him 17, I think. Yeah. Alright, so GG's. Heron takes it for it. He even plays the Night Watchman after it's all done. That's... Alright. Okay, good games. And congrats to Heron on advancing to the round of 16. I don't know who he plays. Let me look at the bracket real quick. He's going to play Osbond. So, anyway, I may try and record some more matches from the tournament later on. So, look for those if you're interested. And thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see y'all later.